Hi, everyone, and welcome to NLP and the Coronavirus live day 21. Been doing these for now 3 weeks since I got back from Hawaii, and I started doing them a week before then. So we're about a month into this. As you can probably tell, I'm joined by my very good friend, Jessen James. Did one of the lives with me a couple of weeks ago, and I got fantastic feedback. You absolutely loved it. You loved Jessen. You loved the process that he gave you. And he said, when is he coming back? Well, the answer to that question is now. So Jessen, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm doing really, really well, and I'm again very, very honoured and grateful for you to have me back. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah,
it's a pleasure. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
We talked before right at the start, but just to do as a refresh, particularly, and it might not be a refresh for some of you because you might be new viewers, was that when we first went into this coronavirus pandemic and the probability of a lockdown, and obviously actually now the actuality of a lockdown, with now, the news today that that's going to be extended for maybe at least a couple of weeks. There's a lot of uncertainty around it. Was a 3-phase process, which was stabilize first, which was getting rid of negative emotions and anxiety, fear, and panic particularly. Then grounding, building on top of that some positive emotions, positive mindset, positive beliefs, and then growth, how we could actually grow grow both personally, professionally, and financially during this time. And Jessen came and took you through a really great process, which would enable you to discover any particular limiting beliefs that you had that would prevent you from being exactly where you wanted to be in 1 year's time, in 2021. So it was very much a kind of like a stabilization, but then pivoting into ground. And I was talking to Jessen about what he would be able to offer you guys today, and he's got another process, which I think, from what you were saying, is again the pivot point between all 3 of those. Really, so it's a real transition between stabilize, ground, and grow, isn't it? Yeah. So Jessen, over to you.
Yeah, thanks.
What's your process for today?
What's the process? Well, look, I think it's important to understand that, first of all, you're giving everyone some tremendous value over these past 3 weeks. So I want to say hats off to you. So any viewers, if you're watching, please shower David with love, because what he's doing is phenomenal. But what I would say is this, we have been doing a lot of work on stabilizing, which you did. We did, my process that I did last time was kind of on the ground and grow part of that. What I think is important to understand is that we're human beings, and doesn't matter how much ground and grow you do, there comes a point where your state requires stabilization again.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is what we're doing at the moment. So for example, another lockdown, another 3 weeks, right? And yeah, quite rightly, people are, fear has amplified, stress has gone up. People have gone, oh my God, have I got to be locked in for another 3 weeks? Whatever it is. And it affects your state, which means if you're someone who's got key decisions to make, i.e. for your family, for your welfare, for your health, for your finances, for your business, your career, whatever it might be, we all know that when the emotion is high, the intelligence is low. So how do you make better decisions during this time? That's what we got to look at. And that's why, I'm very blessed and fortunate to be in a situation where I'm still growing business-wise through this period. But that's not because I'm special. The only thing special about me is the way that I process stuff and the way that I think, right. Which is what I want to pour into you guys this evening. So what I want you to understand is this, like my clients and I, for example, have all been going through the same challenges, which every single one of you watching this right now have gone through, such as stress, worry, anxiety, hallucinating about the future, all that kind of stuff. What I've discovered with my clients and myself is we need to gain control of how we feel at the moment before we go and make decisions. So the key theme that I've been banging on about, which I'd love to share with everyone this evening, is serious question to all of you watching right now. Right now, are you being a victim or a victor?
Good question.
Yeah. Are you being a victim or a victor? And whilst people might be thinking, well, what do you mean by that? Is what I mean is this: are you looking at things that are happening to you right now as a problem or a blessing? They're two different ways of looking at stuff. And if you're able to take control of your mind and how you process what's going on at the moment, then you can make a better choice. Because, you know, as they say, you can be in pain, but suffering's a choice, right? Like you can, like the same way you chose to suffer, you can choose to be happy too. The same way you can choose to be peed off about being locked down, you can choose to celebrate it. It's entirely up to you. It's choices. But I do understand with human beings, and how the heck, Jessen, do you make, you know, these rational choices when the emotion's high and the intelligence is low? So the thing is that what I want to share with people is how do we do that? How do we do that? And I want to share a process with you guys, which you can either do this evening, you can do it tomorrow morning, whenever you want. I just want to help you with this because, you know, David, you and I were having a chat before we came on about the fact that lots of people right now are being told to do this, do that, study this, learn a new skill, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like we said on the last time we had this Facebook Live together, you know, it's 90% mindset, 10% strategy. So what's the point in teaching someone 90% strategy when, you know, and only 10% mindset? It's not going to go in. So here's what I'd like you to do. When you are feeling that you are things are going wrong, such as relationships not going great at the moment, business isn't going great, finance isn't going great, health isn't going great, the whole world is falling apart around you, whatever it might be, that can affect how you feel. And because of how it makes you feel, your internal representation of all that affects your decision making and actions and results and so on and so on and so on. So we need to reverse engineer all of that and stabilize before we do some groundwork. So here's the technique. So I'm going to ask you to do something that, David, you've been telling everyone to do, which is a phenomenal technique, you know, practicing your breathing, obviously. Yep. Your heart breathing, which you've been doing, and I'm very sure you gifted people a phenomenal track around heart breathing.
Yes.
So recently, so you know, using some heart breathing to kind of, you know, manage your state a bit. But I just want you to imagine sitting down for a moment and just going into peripheral vision. And if you're not sure of how to do that, obviously, David, you've covered that in many of your previous videos. So yep. You know, I won't go into that right now. But being in peripheral vision allows you to not focus on problems, right? And be a bit calmer. Now, once you're in that state, I want you to imagine yourself right now, and you can close your eyes if this works for you, to be sitting on a chair in a room, and I want you to, for a moment, almost float out of your body, like disassociate from your body right now, and look at yourself as you're sitting in this chair. And that's obviously, this is an NLP technique of disassociation. So you disassociate yourself from the situation. Now, as you're looking at yourself, I want you to imagine you, the person looking at yourself on that chair right now, going through this problem, the person looking at you, you need to take the role of someone who you admire, trust, believe in. Maybe it's someone you know personally, or maybe it's someone you know, like a TV celebrity or a personality or someone that you follow online. Could even be David Shepherd, whoever. Doesn't matter. Someone whose opinion you respect. I want you to imagine you are that person looking at you on that chair. And I want you to say what you think that person would tell you to do right now, given your circumstances, whether it's a relationship issue, finance issue, money issue, whatever it might be. And what you'll find is you're going to give yourself some very logical and rational advice. Do you know why? Because you're detached emotionally from that situation right now. So as you're looking at yourself, taking on the power, as it were, of this person you look up to, this person you respect, I want you to shower yourself with that advice. And as you're showering yourself with that advice, I want you to start feeling as if, you know what, yeah, hey, I knew that already. I kind of knew that already, but I'm so grateful that this person is sharing this with me because it makes absolute sense. And now I'm going to take that advice and go and make it a reality. So as you're taking on that advice and you're feeling it, which you can float back down into your body, float back down into yourself, take that person's energy, take their learnings, take their wisdom, take everything that they've given you, all the good stuff, bring it in to your body, inside of you, float down into your body again, and just open your eyes and take that state now. Now, before it runs out, because we're human, I want you to write down 3 things you're going to do differently right now.
Right.
3 things you're going to do differently in this moment. Write them down. It's super important you do it now whilst you're in that energy.
Yep.
And what you'll find is those things that you've written down make absolute sense.
Yeah. 3 specific actions or whatever.
Specific actions that you can take. And it might not even be that. It might even be specific things you can do to think differently. Maybe that person told you, hey, think like this. What's the blessing in that? What's the lesson in what's going on around me right now? Or, what could I choose to feel instead?
Right.
Yeah. Or it could be something, or how is this current feeling of yours serving you? Whatever it is, like if it could be instructions, it could be questions that prompt you to go, hey, you know what, actually this state doesn't serve me at all. So why should I be in that? And whenever you catch yourself feeling like that again, do the same thing. Do the same thing. It's I think it's referred to as stealing someone else's power. So borrowing someone's power. Modeling. But honestly, like I think people can do this because David, like you've been with people, obviously you and your guests, been with people over the last 3 weeks. I think it's very easy for people to forget some of the nuggets that you've shared over the last 21 days. And just going through that experience and going, maybe even that person being in that situation, being you, reminding them of something you said on one of your previous videos might help, but they've got to disassociate themselves first. Otherwise they'll be emotionally attached.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because they're just going to be wrapped in their own model of the world. Absolutely. Not able to find a way out.
Absolutely.
This enables you to step out of it.
Correct. So, so that's the technique.
Yeah, very nice NLP variation on a theme. So well done for creating that one.
Thank you.
Love it. Like that one. Yeah,
Thank you.
So Jessen, thanks for joining us again. I'm sure over the weeks we'll have you back again.
I'd love to. Anytime. I'm here.
Guest, and also you're on TV this weekend.
Yeah, I am indeed. For those of you this weekend, this coming Sunday, Sunday the 26th of April at 9 p.m. on Channel 5. If you're at a loose end and want some evening entertainment, I'll be featured on the documentary Rich House Poor House.
Cool.
Where you can watch me go through an interesting journey and possibly watch me cry on national television. Who knows? We'll find out.
Okay. Brilliant. Well done.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for joining us wherever you are in the world. And again, wherever you are in the world, love you lots. And, ahui ho. We'll see you again, same time, same bat channel. Tomorrow sometime.